my boy, Limbus Company, 2 times in a row. Who'd have thought? Yeah, we still got more into Valo to go. Featuring the new Ishmael that I now have leveled. Up to 3 because I'm broke. Anyways, we're doing taboos, because, why not?
No, that's not what I want!
As soon as I registered Mersault's words, my hand reflexively threw the field to the ground. Are we going to be okay? We might have just broken a taboo. Stop freaking out, guys. They're not dying. We'll be fine. N-Corp's not going to kill you on the spot just for possessing a film roll.
There is a possibility that everything will not be okay.
Eh?
Because I have developed the contents of that film roll in the dark room.
Oh.
The Corp will take the lack of intentionality into consideration. However, it is very likely that my actions will be deemed as aiding the primary violator of the taboo.
So even if we're really, really unlucky and they actually come after us, it's going to be fine as long as the footage is low fidelity. Probably. So what exactly does frame rate within regulations entail? It's got to be like 24 frames per whenever. Could this film roll be considered a violation of the taboo?
That cannot be determined, unless each frame is thoroughly analysed and compared with adjacent.
The flower pot moves between frames, doesn't it? You observe closer. The stiffness arises not from gloom, but from strain to maintain it. Oh, if that's the case, maybe the subject really is trying to fake an actual footage by moving very, very slowly. That's when Kim... Oh yeah, he kind of got wind punched, didn't they?
Look at the shadow cast on the windowsill. See how it noticeably shifts between each frame? Whoever made this knows their craft for sure, but I can't imagine a backstreet dweller would have any way to mess up with the sun's trajectory.
In which case, this film roll does not violate the Nest taboo, correct?
That is highly probable.
From what I've seen, maybe our culprit just likes to play with fire. Play with fire?
Yeah, must have started by doing something that technically doesn't count as taboo, and inched on and on until he brushed thrillingly close to one. One thrilling shot through the camera, and another with the next, until eventually he ended up recording actual footage.
Cool, and that leaves the question of what the heck was he trying to do with it?
Might have been trying to screen it using a projector for all of the part of the backstreets to see. But wouldn't that make everyone hear if those unwillingly came across the projection? Right on, it'd have made those folks violators of the taboo. I asked around on the opposite street, and apparently some guy had been going around asking the workshop so they could make him a projector. Seemed like most of them turned him down, but they also said that he stopped showing up after a certain point. Fair to guess that he got his hands on a projector somehow.
So how do we track this guy down?
Multiple individuals in the same garb as the pinframe team have been identified in the vicinity. They're all carrying the same briefcase.
Nope, this crowd sure doesn't look like they're going to let us follow them. Yeah, they gonna beat our head.
You are the one favoured by the prescript,
so you must fucking die.
No, he took a picture of me. Get headshotted.
Bro, this is supposed to be the seasonal ID. I mean, look at that. That's silly. For legal reasons, that is a joke. Please do not skin me. Bang! Oh my god! Look at how much poise she generates. Like, I know Mersault is helping with that, but jeez! Oh, I can't wait for Thursday when I can shard the ego. He's going to be so much better. Yeah, I don't actually know how full stop Heathcliff got the most, but hey, we take it. Pursuit, more like pursuance! Oh! Okay, I'm being weird this recording.
Mersault, no, you're supposed to roll here!
Oh, no, now you roll it. Get shot. Like, literally, you just got your photo taken. She has so much poise, and that's just up to 3. Remember when poise teams actually struggled for poise? I sure do. I am 4 currency off. I wanna cry.
Service de Clou is not a combat specialised department. While they've all undergone basic combat training for exigent circumstances, they are not prepared for head-on conflicts such as this.
Michael. Hey, Mersault.
Yes, manager.
Don't hesitate to let me know if there's something you want to say, but aren't sure if you're supposed to say it.
Yes, manager. I'll do as you ordered, such one circumstance occur.
His reply was deflatingly concise and direct, as though he had some rule of his own that told him that was the specific response for situations like these. Okay, but I'm talking about right now, actually. Do you have anything to say right now?
No, I do not.
It appeared to me that he was trying to hide anything or choosing his words in response to my question. His reply was simply that, an answer, nothing more. Yes, a prepared answer written down in a list of responses. That's what it felt like to me. As though this particular answer had always been the only one he had available for situations like this. Yeah, that thing I set as my profile at the beginning is making a lot more sense now. Would have been nice to know what you were looking at.
Of that,
he spoke.
I cannot form a judgment.
What?
That is because the precise definition and nature of the subject of my gaze are just as unknown to me as to you. Should you point to an object or an enemy, I could provide a verbal explanation based on my current knowledge. If you require such information, please rephrase your question accordingly. Another battle is imminent. As you have previously instructed, I have informed you of an imminent battle.
So they must have been on their way to that building. Our path ahead seems clear, Executive Manager. Let us neutralize these foes and head up there.
Are these the taboo violators? I thought the culprit worked alone. No, I'm quite certain they're the ones from the subsequent reports.
All of a sudden, with a click, the room began to buzz with the metallic whir of some kind of machinery. And immediately I could tell what it was. Distortion. The device could be playing a recorded video, Executive Manager. Even a brief look at it would constitute a taboo violation.
Oh man, folks, this is starting to get a little embarrassing. Eyes open, Angdu. What's wrong with everyone? Got dust in your eyes?
The hell's wrong with you? Don't you know that anyone who watches even a split second of a recorded video in Corp gets...
Of course I know, but I watched it anyway. Open your eyes, esteemed fellows. This motion picture isn't recorded. Hang on, he's right. That video's not a recording.
So you've tracked me down this far. After what I went through to take refuge in here, they still ended up finding this place. All of you blindly consuming fake experience after fake experience without even a care about the real thing.
I only aim to say that this abomination has no consciousness.
It's repeating the same sentences over and over.
Now that does make me wonder, was I just as far gone when I distorted? Past all words and reason? I mean, if anyone has an answer to that question, it'd be you folks, right? I'm no different from this abomination. Just as it wields that contraption, I must have wielded the only thing I've ever known, the blade, transforming into a mindless fiend consumed by a mere tool, cleaving through both friend and foe, unrestrained. A battle is imminent, Manager.
Just a natural response to sensing an imminent battle, perhaps?
Nope! Isn't it about time we both grew accustomed to such sights?
Mentor, still do I wake from these dreams drenched in cold sweat, that they might bind and drag you away.
This isn't so bad, is it? It's just these folks so far. Unlike earlier, when... Another flash. What was that? Everything went dark! I don't understand what's happening. But first things first, we have to neutralize everyone here and get our mission back on track.
Adjusting projection. To the one who finds comfort in settling in lies, I give you what most deserved your gaze. It changed.
It did? Unlike the earlier instance, one of the distortions is different from the others.
They were accompanied by someone else. A warrior in impressive armor wielding a sword that was just as tall.
To be reunited in such a manner. I suppose this is how it would have gone down had you been the one to grab me. Military Commissioner Im Jeong Yup. How do you fare, friend?
At the signal arrows loosing, seize the accused.
Here we go, it's bash fight time! Alright, cool. That doesn't matter, you already have 500 fucking shield anyways. Sinking maxing. Oh my god, Ryoshu, you fraud! On hit as an unopposed attacker, on hit against a target that uses assist defense exclusive skill, lose 2 Sword of the Homeland. Okay, so we actually want to assist defend that. Interesting, very interesting. Oh my god, Honglu! I was gonna say, he's negative sanity! Lock in! Thank you, Ryoshu, for losing a second clash. Yeah, I'm negative sanity. Yeah, I'm still outrolling you. I don't give a shit. Oh, here we are. Engdu currently going hard. Just killing literally everyone. Okay. Projector down. Now we're back here. We Furioso. Damn, you're tanky. Like, I know you got big armor, but Jesus! Oh no, I lost the clash. Anyhow. I shall set my form aright. Just a little more and I think we might be able to smash that dang thing to smithereens, but... Yeah, but it's really hard to focus on one thing with a huge warrior zapping in and out of reality as soon as we make ourselves an opening. It'd make our lives a whole lot easier if we could just get rid of one of them. Faust! Recommend entering the Dungeon of the Fathoms as our exit. Dungeon of the Fathoms? How can I enter that if we can't even talk to the Distortion? Wait, maybe. Right! Keywords! Okay, so what are the keywords for this Distortion then? First things first, one of them has to be photograph. It's obviously been present throughout the entire phenomenon. If I may, perhaps experience may be one of them. Experience? The concept alone lacks substance. It must be something more grounded, something that is at once synonymous with experience, while maintaining a thorough line to N-Corp's technology. Well, that was the core of his obsession.
Canned experience?
Most likely, thinks Faust.
Alright then, photograph, canned experience?
Naught seems to transpire as of yet.
It didn't, but I can feel it. Are these the kinds of photographs they used to make canned experience? So that's what that strange sensation was. Mentioning that word shook the distortion caused that rippling effect. But it was clearly not enough to open the Dungeon of the Fathoms. How many other keywords could there be? Scraps. Sorry? Oh, I thought we were all taking turns sharing what might have caused him to distort. And going by the way you folks were saying your piece one after another, I thought this would be some kind of Zen riddle. I sought out his apartment and found a few scraps of his writing. When cold rain drips through the roof, when mold and tepid humidity together encroach from the earth, the mind begins to wander, lost. Photograph, canned experiences, and scraps. That seemed to have worked. I'll keep them at bay. My sword arm's not what it once was, but it should be enough for this.
What a terrible front. At least try to pretend to be sincere and make it easy for us to believe you. Did you think that terrible excuse was going to fly?
Then what lies within must be my very own, for that is what the abomination is gazing into. It's decided then. You're coming with us.
Oh boy, Fathoms time! Give me this!
Are you home, I asked. What a strange visitor I have. Why not call at the front gate if you've come seeking the master of the house? Be not like a dog barking up the wrong tree. It's unbecoming.
A dog? Really now? I can see you up there lounging on the roof. I'm not going to speak to the door like I'm blind.
Has a spell of some sort befallen the day? To have such an odd occurrence transpire twice successive. The work of a bewitching spirit, I say.
What's so bewitching about checking in on someone?
Isn't it odd that high and noble military commissioner of our esteemed corporation would come in person to simply check in on how a lowly mercenary fares?
You know me?
Why, who else might she be but Military Commissioner Jeong Yeop, the principal of the famed Yin family?
I am not so noble that I deserve to be complimented with an epithet so grand as the principled.
Not a compliment, you see, Commissioner. This is a rhetorical technique known as a backhanded compliment, in which I damn you with praise, for you are so bound by your precious principles that you'd rather be unreasonable than betray them. Why, am I out of line, as they say?
You two are friends, right?
This was our first meeting, so no, not at that precise moment.
You are out of line, yes, but I knew you would be, so I won't take issue with it. Though I must admit the rumours of your sharp tongue do you no justice. These streets speak of a man they call Kimlib, a man who had once intended to pursue the path of the brush, only to realise the sins of his forefathers and exiled himself to the back streets. Yet with the sheer power of will, gritted teeth and scarred heart did he find the path of sword another way into the nest, as the right state council has sworn guard at that.
And spare me the fancy reading of my name, whilst you pretend that pompous posturing comes naturally is painful enough already. Keep it simple and spell it out as Bamboo-Hatted Kim. Thank you.
So feel safe to continue traipsing outside the line, but in return would you answer a few of my questions? I've been watching you from a distance for a while now, and...
Really? Stalking someone's not very principled of you.
So can you tell us why she's been watching you?
I was engaged in the age-old pastime of throwing rocks.
Oh, you speak of the game of suction?
Save them for the festivities of Dano. I was throwing rocks at the passers-by. People of Pierre and Sal in particular found it to be distasteful, and they did not let their discontent be hidden. District 19 is split into 3 court circles responsible for different aspects. Sal, P, and Pio, each meaning flesh, blood, and bone, which makes up the body.
Sal, responsible for the cultivation of rice and other grains. Pio is responsible for meat and livestock. And P, in charge of the technological aspects of both.
Well, it'd be pie, wouldn't it? 'Cause,
yeah, fuck.
Oh yes, the councillor finds rats detestable. Much better to stop them from a distance if you want to crush them.
By any chance, do these rats have a habit of sneaking into the royal court to better pilfer what the common folk rightfully deserve?
They certainly suffer from severe case of kleptomania.
So you purposely threw a rock at his feet to trip him to the ground, knowing that he was a kleptocrat?
Well, I simply could not help but react as such in the presence of scurrying rats.
When will you stop being a sword and be human again?
What?
When do you clock out? The way I see it, you're not the kind of person who'll ever let a drop of liquor get to his tongue while on duty for the right state councillor. Return to this choga when you're human again. I'll buy you a drink as thanks. Mentor, this fellow you'd often mention fondly was...
Correct. Haven't I mentioned her a few times as a drinking fellow I'd left behind in escort? I must say I found myself that relationship most intriguing, that a military commissioner of the Sal faction would fraternize with the bodyguard of the Right State Councillor who was of the Pi faction. This enchanted place seems intent on unearthing all of my past, both savoury and unsavoury. All shall be revealed in due time. A constant powerful gust howled through one of the paths, another was filled with a metallic tang, the smell of blood. Then there was a path that was entirely silent, and the last one echoed with the harsh noise of sword striking against sword. So they came to a sudden silent stop. A pedestal made of stacked stones appeared before us, though none of us knew how long it had been there. Atop it was a red accessory, the kind one would hang at the bottom of this hilt. Okay, red tassel. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hate negative coin enemies. Getting our way through the streets of S-Corp, we've come across a young man holding a... Must I know you to impart some unsolicited advice? A meddler in me simply cannot help himself from walking past a disadvantageous game of Baduk. Well, let Sinner answer. I'm not going to let Kim answer. I'm going to let Kim answer instead. Here, take this. I know to repay for people's time, answer or not. He rummaged around for a bit of his pockets, handed us a rather sizable tiok bundled in a giant leaf. It's a bundle of delicious tiok for your troubles. Takes them for the road. Upon entering the encounter, gain brand. Wait, what the fuck do you mean, brand? I catch a glimpse of a figure staring off into the darkness of the unlit prison. Bamboo-hatted Kim lets out a sigh before he even fully exhales. Who goes there? A sharp cry cuts through the stagnant air. Someone here must have noticed us. What should we do? Stand ready for battle. You're not the prison guards. The woman who called us stood there for a moment, nonchalantly, trying to gauge us even as we stood with our weapons drawn. Then she walked towards us in a gait that cannot be called aggressive. But instead of chatting with us, she called upon the figure sitting inside the prison. She cared to explain who they are and what happened. The one-sided exchange continued for a while. She tried various lines of questioning to chat up the figure inside the shell, but it was to no avail. Are you not here to visit him as well? Might you be those who share his purpose? We are. Visit that fool? Hearing that, Mersal and Kim stepped forth to explain what had led to the incident at the Right State Councillor's estate, with a particularly critical edge coming on when describing Kim's own actions, that is. So that is what had transpired. Hold on, what does that mean that you know that? How does that man know what happened? There's no time for idle chat. He must leave S-Corp right this instant, and by the time Kim's story ended, the prisoner's curiosity finally bubbled over the limit and threatened to spill over as questions. However, the woman, who had just learned the truth of what had happened, refused to engage at all and focused entirely on removing the Kang clasped around the prisoner's throat. She continued to deftly work her hands to unclasp the Kang, even as she gave us directions so detailed and vivid that we could find our way out of the prison without a map. Meanwhile, Bamboo-hatted Kim had wandered off to a corner of the room and picked up a broken piece of wood, pocketing it. Crushed wooden manacle obtained. On hit against the enemy using a slash skill, inflict 1 defense level down. No, it can't be. My life is, the experiences, the memories I'd recorded are different. Again, I am returned to this day. Yeah, this was the same area that was in his fathoms. I recognise this place. Flippant demeanour and seemingly devil-may-care attitude were but a mask to hide the true darkness in his heart. Yeah, he's like Dante from Devil May Cry. He may act like a goofy idiot, but deep down he's got some bad trauma. If S-Corp's circumstances were to be explained in plainer terms, it'd be akin to a situation in which a company, whose employees outwardly appear to be all working at the same side, is in fact fractured within, with certain departments pledging allegiance to a different individual than the chief executive.
I, Kim Lib, am a poor excuse for a bodyguard, and I have failed you. And I knew who the author of the foul scheme was, the Left State Councillor.
Greetings, honored bodyguard of the Right Councillor. I see that you'd been hard at work.
Accursed parasites! I know the assassins were sent by the Left State Councillor. Get out of my way. I shall collect your head once my task here is over.
Heed me, soldiers. Arrest that mad butcher. The accused shall heed his crimes. 1 moon ago, an anonymous letter threatening to take the life of the revered Right State Councillor arrived at the royal court. This audacious, contumelious effort is an affront not only to the royal court, but to the heavens and men alike. The revered Left State Councillor, who had long been in disagreement with the Right State Councillor on matters of the state, found this offence to be so heinous that he has personally commanded his men to protect his political enemy on the day written on the letter. The Councillor? Might you be looking for the Right State Councillor here, alive and well?
My lord?
Perhaps you should have known where not to stick your nose.
He sent so many of his men to their deaths, just to lure me into a trap. Why?
But you have been rather an egregious obstacle to the execution of my plans. Couldn't get through with the first thing in my plan with you constantly getting in my way. Let's keep you nicely locked up and out of trouble. You've fallen far, my friend, who were once considered a candidate to the honour of Ungyeom.
Time to resign my stone.
Indeed it is.
Why are you freeing me?
Once a game has been lost, you start anew and test other gambits in the next round. Why don't you stop playing this unfair game where the opponent always starts with stones placed on all 9 star points on the board, and find a place where you can begin anew in equal standing?
I didn't think you were the kind to go against your honourable principles.
Some things can't be done without mending a rule or two, and you are needed. S-Corp's future is in need of those who are less bound by expectations, like yourself. Go and build your strength beyond the walls of S-Corp, yet beware of relying overmuch on foreign powers. Alright. Someone carrying a sword on his belt and a sack on his shoulder leaped into a haystack near us. A few moments later, a small squad of Chuonkans, torches in hand, rushed in from the same direction the man had come from. We saw a criminal who had coveted the kingdom's properties flee in this direction. Speak up if you have seen the wretch. The Chuonokans began walking up to the civilians and questioning them about the criminal's whereabouts. Despite all having seen the man jump into the haystack, all of them shake their heads and refuse to give up the criminal. Are they hiding him for some reason? Soon the Chuonkans had made their way through the crowd, approached us as well. What shall we do? So you went that way, huh? Appreciate the assistance. Once the group of Chuonkans hurried towards the direction I pointed them towards, the man crawled out of the haystack. Seeing that the Chuonkans had gone, some of the civilians walked up to the man and gave him their thanks. All allies healed for 50% of their max HP. All allies healed back to full SP.
Like a prey backed against the cliff's edge, I am left bereft of paths. My hand hesitates with no room to place the stone. Misjudgments burgeon when contemplations harrow the mind indeed. I still believe that Salpipiao Agrandistries deserves to die. But destruction's not the point. The point is that I want it to be a place where I can cut away the Evacrius corrupted and have it be a wing that cares for its common folk.
If I didn't know any better, I would have thought you were seeking to supplement the current S-Corp.
You know that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just a wanderer, flowing down the river's flow to where the currents take him. When the river bent and I hit a wall, someone picked me up and made a blade out of me. Once abandoned, I returned to the flow and found myself a mentor to those who afforded me the undeserved faith.
I expected better from someone of your wiles.
If you enjoy those principles so much, then why ask me to leave the game?
Because someone has to stay behind and try to bring change within the limits of their principles. I only hope that one of those bends in that river would float you back to knock on the gates of S-Corp once it was primed for change.
Has that changed?
What do you think? You at least seem to think that I have. Because you believe that I shall stand in your path. Very well. The law states that denial of the will of the royal court is a crime deserving of death by beheading.
Is that supposed to be...
Oh, I fucking noticed that! I noticed Kim had a unique voice line for using Blade Lineage Mersault. Having sinking units is definitely going to help here. There we are. Bones have indeed been claimed. I really need to level up the other Blade Lineage units, because I can unironically see them being really fun with this Mersault upscale. I mean, I've already leveled up Ishmael. Fuck, I'm already half committed. We win the clash. We love that. Anyhow, we're all going to probably die regardless. Ow. Oh my god, tell me that I'm going to be able to not only use my skill 3-2 on Heathcliff, but I'm also going to get a Furioso on Stagger. If you recover from Stagger, I'm going to slap you in the tits. It's so fucking beautiful. We got the concentration, we got the poise, we got the stagger, 300 damage. There we go. This should just kill, no? Yep, that kills. Well, that wasn't so bad.
She's not as powerful as I recall, yet weighed down by the brand, I am not so far ahead or behind.
Can you afford to look away in a duel? What are you doing? You'd rather lock your sword with mine than parry it away?
Can't have a proper sword fight without a blade lock, though, huh? The duel between the mentor of a syndicate and the military commissioner of S-Corp is neck to neck, clash after clash. The two warriors eventually lock their blades in a contest of might before it comes to a close in a final fatal bout. When the dust settles, the mentor lies in the sand, dead.
If that is what you want, I will grant it.
Good. Let's finish this.
Are you really so ashamed that you would choose death over life, Mentor? Are you so scared to live that you would rather die?
Yes, I am. I'm scared. I'm terrified of my own audacity to live my days though I haven't failed everything and everyone who had the misfortune of placing their faith in me. My mission, my honor, my fellows, as though my path isn't haunted by ghosts, as though I can stand shamelessly before watching the eyes of the heavens.
Mentor, the weakness in your strength has failed your mission. The weakness in your position has failed your honor, and the weakness in your heart become the fiendish blade that cut down your fellows.
Dude, I thought you were here to talk me into keep on living, yet your words pain me so.
What weakness of yours is it that this time that you would cast away your own creed and life? What other weakness will you use as an excuse today? Stop trying to bear responsibilities asked not of you. The Blade lineage was never about responsibility, nor was it about you, Mentor. Or does your overbearing guilt help you overestimate your importance?
Oh, she's really going off on him.
That you are but a butchering blade that wields not itself, a tool wielded by willing hands. Why, Mentor, I know not what kind of shame or responsibilities a mere tool has, do you? Because I fail to see any. If the shame does not subside still, then shroud your face with that bamboo hat of yours and live on. Live on so that you may repay your debts.
There is nothing more. Indeed, perhaps there was some merit in your words, then I must retreat from this silly game of stone to become a fiend of blades. Interesting. Whence did you hear that poem? Yes, when inverted, a bamboo hat is like an unladen ship.
Yeah, he's distorting again.
But your last move was not a good one, indeed. I did wish to become a blade, and what did you do? Force me into an indiscriminate one that cleaves blindly into fiend and foe both. It seems that, in your excitement, you have concerned yourself with that last move. Well, as it seems that I have had an opportunity to retrace our past moves, allow me to try something different this time. I appreciate and will treasure the other bits of your advice. But let us play by my rules for tonight's game.
Something's different this time, innit? He ain't distorting. I think that's he might be manifesting.
A bit embarrassing to change my stance now, but now I fight to live. And I suppose you will be okay with that?
Of course.
To hide from heaven's gaze, this hat I wore. An empty boat, it bores my friends along. In bamboo veiled, we drift from shore to shore. With wine, I don my hat to watch blooms throng. In mirth, I doff that shroud to moon adore. So with this bamboo hat to veil my brow, though winds and rain may rage, I shall not throw.
Hear to me, bamboo-hatted one. Speak your name, for I find your outfit dubious of character.
I am he who has mentored the lineage of blades to its premature end. I am he who has sought to bring salvation to the downtrodden to no avail. What to call a man who has failed to disturb in himself of the world? How to name a man who has failed to bear the weight of the world? There is none. So call me Bamboo-Hatted Kim. Bamboo-Hatted Kim, the treasonous wretch.
God damn, he done did manifested.
Why? Why is everyone running from all of this?
You don't believe there's any experience in either the canned experience or that guy's photographs, do you, Mersault? Because experiences and memories aren't the same thing.
Correct, manager.
Hello.
Huh? Blimey, that thing's still alive!
It is but an overlay of fathoms created within a distorted space. The concept of life and death has little meaning for such a thing. Pursuant to the law of the homeland, the accused should be sentenced to death by beheading.
Oh, he's dead. Yeah, no, we've got a corpse. This is our guy. We're done. No one else is done. Hello, not Blade Lineage Identity. That's technically a Blade Lineage Identity in the Mirror Dungeons. That's the initial report done. Good work, guys.
The Distortion has perished in the mission. Will that not cause trouble?
Yeah, that kind of sucks, but it's not like you guys could help it. Who would have thought that the Distortion would kill its own inflection point? The foes have taken photographs of us. Yeah, there's evidence. Wherefore did they take so many photographs of us? Mersault, do you remember how many pictures of the N-Corp staff took?
I do. 56 times.
That's a lot of pictures.
They didn't take a picture of you. It was me.
I mean, what's the most statistically likely reason that it was you?
Oh boy. We're here on different business, so if you'd be so kind as to let us speak.
They are here to arrest me, manager.
Hold on, Mersault. Let's hear them out. Wait, what? Please confirm that you are Mersault, formerly one who nails! Sinclair's gonna fucking kill this guy.
Confirmed.
By the decree of the Giants, who have been expelled from N-Corp with imprisonment as the penalty for non-compliance, pursuant of Article 12 of the eviction regulations, you have been informed that remaining in N-Corp's district for more than 6 hours may subject you to immediate arrest.
Wait, stop!
What the hell's going on? Wait, forget all that. Did you know this would happen, Mersault?
I did, manager.
Subject now in custody. From this moment onward, you are considered a suspect and will be transported to N-Corp headquarters for your trial. So where are you taking him? A retrial will be rescheduled for the execution of the XL sentence.
Give me my autistic boy back.
Ah, that can't be the end, motherfucker! Okay, well, at least we finished the intervalo, eh? Yeah, no, Jesus Christ. I don't even know how to end that off. If you've all enjoyed, let me know by leaving a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed the content. Thanks always for watching. I'll see you in the next Limbus Company video. Take care and fare thee wells.